Alrighty, hi everyone. This is Brad from Board Game Geek. I'm here with Gray. Tonight we're going to do our live stream. Gray, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. Ready to get some orc football going on.
Good, good. Yeah. So we're going to be playing Blood Bowl tonight. Before we get started, I just want to ask, how familiar are you with like American football? Do you follow it?
Me in particular.
Yeah, you in particular.
Yes. So I'm familiar with the sport, but I'm more of a video gamer than a sports gamer. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. So I do know though that the game, at least to me, feels like ostensibly a little bit more like rugby than football, maybe, because there's no real, downs, turnovers, that sort of thing. So yeah, let's get started. We will get that game going up right now. We thought about doing an online game tonight, but turns out I was a little overzealous about the ease of the online system here. It's very contained. You kind of have to like make a team, and that team has to be part of a particular league. And so, yeah, it turns out we couldn't go head-to-head just in a quick exhibition match, which I think is kind of a downer, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think that part of that is because there's the whole, your team has money, and you can spend that money toward bonuses at the beginning of the game, which don't really seem to add a whole lot. Like you can buy extra beer or cheerleaders or like an apothecary, and some of those allow you to heal one extra player or something, but a lot of them just end up giving you a chance to get rerolls, and rerolls seem to be a pretty big deal in this game. But it's
Right.
a little frustrating that because they want you to have a team and raise this money and have that money be persistent, that, yeah, I can't just like call up a buddy and get an exhibition game going.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it seems, I don't know, it seems a little old-fashioned to me, like like an online system you'd find in the mid-2000s, which I think is when this game before it was ported to iOS actually first came out. So that might explain a little bit, but
Okay.
so I've chosen to be, I only play one race in any Warhammer game, and that's the Wood Elves. So that's my team. And I'm going to go up against some orcs, I guess, because you kind of have to have orcs, I think, if you're going to do fantasy sports. To those that are watching, we are happy to take questions. You can leave them on the YouTube page. I'm checking the comments there, as well as on the Board Game Geek page, and Twitter as well. We will follow. So, yeah. All right. So this is the money thing you're talking about.
Right. So I don't know why you don't just put all the money in, unless
There's
that
no button
needs
to do
be,
that.
Yeah. Unless for some reason, even in your exhibition games, it's tracking it and saying you can only have
I don't
so much.
think it is.
So why
And
wouldn't you just put the max in? Yeah.
Right. That is very true. Let's see. So then I can spend the cash that I just got. Generally, I think one of the best things to spend it on is like a star player. But they are pretty expensive, and there's this one dude who's like really expensive because he's a big blocker, hard to take down. But I'm gonna go after this War Dancer guy, and that only leaves me $40,000 left.
40,000 left to spend on.
Or 40,000 coins.
So like you can buy a chef for the team, and then the chef rolls, and if he gets a 4 or above, then your team gets a reroll. It all seems just very obfuscated. I don't know.
Well, I think Blood Bowl, it's in the Warhammer kind of vein of stuff, which is very much about rolling dice to do stuff, to do other stuff kind of thing. It's very the old school. I remember we would buy the figures. I'm just going to start playing. We'd buy the figures, and it would seem like we would spend more time putting them together than ever really comprehending and following the rules. So
yeah, I guess
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but all right. So we start up. Pretty cool 3D animation. Even if it looks a little dated, I think it's still pretty cool for the iPad. All right, so it looks like I won the toss. That's one thing about this game is it doesn't always walk you through exactly what's happening. Kind of just will tell you what you have to do next sometimes. All right. So we have the option here to reline our players.
Which you can do either manually or I like that up at the top they sort of have a couple
Oh, is
common
this?
configurations.
Ah,
Yeah, so you can
interesting.
go strong line or the wall.
So what do you
Uh,
think?
if you're on the offense, I think attack center is sort of like their jack of all trades lineup,
Okay.
whereas then like the wall is a good defensive or something like that. I haven't really been able to go through all of them.
All right, I'll try that attack center. See if the elves are not very good at getting tackled or anything like that. So it's whoa, what just happened?
So
Uh,
when we
just
have a kickoff, we have a
the
kickoff
kickoff
event,
table, right?
which rolls some stuff and then shakes things up. But wow, that looks like one dice roll really, really changed the game.
And I have to point out that five of my players are down, while two of his players are down. So it's a little bit different, I think. All right, so I'm gonna go grab the ball, see what we can do here.
I mean, I'm all for adding variability to games, um, but
I am
there's
inferior.
kind of a there's yeah there's a joke that we have in like, game development when you offer the player door A or door B. Door B, game over. It's like
Right.
you sort of you need to reward smart player action and punish mistakes, not just arbitrarily wipe out half a player's team.
Well, I'm gonna still run for the goal,
There
unencumbered.
you go.
So if I can just stop myself from getting tackled, which is basically gonna be impossible, but I can try. Ooh, that's not great for me. Let's do this. All right, so
So yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna walk through the basic moves while you're making your move. You can
Yeah,
probably explain it better while you're going through them.
no, it's cool. Yeah, so I completed a tackle until some dice are rolled, which I don't think in the tutorial they explained what the die faces mean, if I recall.
Nope.
Uh, and I remember picking the skull a couple times because I thought that looked really cool. Turns out the skull
Yeah.
is extremely bad for you when it's your choice. It's as far as I can tell. So yeah, another thing about this game is players can actually die. So I think my tree ant just crushed this player here where this blood spot is. I think that's just what just happened. All right, so
Yeah,
when
he's
you go
having
to
a
tackle,
bad time.
die rolls, and I got a skull, which means I'm gonna fall down potentially, right? Or other bad things are gonna happen.
So I think a skull means you are injured or you die. If it's the orange like sunburst, that just means you're
Okay,
knocked down. So this is very bad for you.
so I'm gonna use one of my rerolls. All right, so I can
It
push him out of the way. What's up?
Yeah. Well, so it's also, I believe, you have to take a look at who is attacking whom because
Okay.
the skull can either be really good if you're the one attacking, or it's really bad if you're the one. I'm actually not
Oh,
sure.
so it's good on attack and it means a bad thing on defense. Okay, that makes sense. Right, so this is a blitz
Maybe.
move, right? Where I ran forward and attempted to tackle, but was knocked down. And every time you get knocked down, that's how kind of a turnover happens, which is kind of interesting. So I don't think he's going to have enough action points to tackle me, but he's going to put his guys next to me. And when I leave their kind of zone of control, you could say, their area of control,
It's
ooh,
blitz.
never mind, he did get me. He's gonna send his goblin to go get it. Might not be fast enough though. His whole team versus my one catcher. Ooh. So my whole team, except for 2 players, I believe, are currently on the ground. One of them was just beaten while he was down. One thing I find kind of annoying is when your players are knocked down, you actually have to make sure you go stand them all up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't...
And then that...
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, so standing up is their movement cost, basically, for the turn. It is possible in some cases where we saw like the blitz before,
to
where
move
you
again.
can stand up and block at the same time. So
Right.
that blitz is a really important move. Once per turn, you have one of your guys is able to both move and attack. And sometimes deciding when you use that blitz and in what order can really make or break a play.
Sorry. Turns out my guy's incapable of picking up the ball. Which means I just lost my touchdown.
Oh, and probably your player's life.
And will probably die, yes. Yeah, I feel like this has a very wargaming feel, how if you overextend yourself, you're very prone to losing terribly.
Uh-huh.
I'm about to now.
Yep.
It definitely has that kind of carryover from Warhammer, that very kind of wargaming feel. Let me just check. We got some more comments coming in. Oh, do I want to try to cure my player? Sure.
Yeah.
So now he just misses the next game. I'm not sure that's super useful.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
So I think when it gives you that option, you actually have to select the new option.
Right. Well, my other option was death.
Oh, that's
yeah. Sorry, I should be going slower, okay. But yeah, my choices were either live or die. All right, so I'm gonna try to just kind of live by running away, and then wait for a new turn.
Do you want to talk a bit about the ZOC aspect and?
Yeah, let me turn that on real quick.
In this game?
Sure. Yeah. So let me turn on the tackle zones here. I think they're on now. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So they, you'll notice now that we turned on the tackle zones, zones of control. The adjacent squares surrounding each unit is kind of an area that they can affect or defend. So anybody who is traveling through there has to take a hit. And, in some games they have to stop or take some action. But here you can move through several zones of control, enemy ZOC squares, and still get through. But, it's possible that you're going to take a lot of hits, and each of those hits is a chance to be knocked down and cause a turnover. So as a defender, you want to sort of line up your people such that you have good tackle zone coverage across the whole board or wherever the enemy's going to try to penetrate. And as the guy with the ball, you're going to be blocking, pushing defenders out of the way to clear up those a lane through those ZOC. So going back to what Brad said earlier, it is a lot like wargaming in that respect. I mean, you're trying to get breakthroughs and either control a wide area or clear a path.
Right. And so what I've tried to do here is kind of, set up my guys in a way, because he's going to try to run forward, so I'm just trying to make it as difficult as possible for him to do that. And hopefully trip him up and strip the ball. Would be great. The computer is really smart. I tend to overextend myself and kind of go the Hail Mary route, but the computer usually will surround their ball carrier in their own zones of control, in their own tackle zones, to kind of keep them defended and kind of stop you from taking the ball, which seems pretty smart.
One of the things that you're seeing there up there, the little party circle around the guy with the ball,
right,
is a pattern that I see developing in a number of the games that I played, and I haven't played that many, but I did see sort of this this gradual shift toward a giant mass of players all sort of surrounding the ball and moving down the screen. Maybe like a scrum. You were relating this to rugby earlier and saying it's kind of a little more like rugby than football.
Right. How it's kind of like this large mass and then the ball pops out sometimes. And then
Yeah.
a large mass again.
But
Yeah.
in that way, a lot of the strategy just becomes like how you're going to move. Especially like right now, it's just one faction kind of in this big cluster. But you'll get setups where the ball is in the middle and you have players from both factions that are kind of weaving in and out in that scrum, and a lot of the kind of micro strategy of in what order are you going to attack, who are you going to attack them with, and it just sort of becomes a different type of gameplay, which I've enjoyed. You'll notice there are some bonuses you can get if you are attacking. I mean, I say attack, but it's like blocking somebody who is adjacent to another one of your players. You get like a +1. So there are ways to sort of do combos on people if you move your players in the right order.
Right. Which is what I was trying to do there, but failed spectacularly. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, if anyone wants to leave comments, I see some people are disappointed that we're not playing the actual tabletop version. I'm sorry about that. We like to play digital versions of things, and I think it'd be really hard to film a tabletop version of Blood Bowl, actually, because you need a lot of cameras. Almost like filming a real football game. So yeah, see, they found the path of least resistance, and they managed to take out a couple of my guys. So I'm going to have to rethink my positioning here in hopes of slowing them down. Sorry, I am thinking. So, yeah, anything you've had a chance to play, Gray? I know you're pretty busy lately, but any chances to play any video games?
I've been playing, as usual, a bit of Hearthstone. This is a wonderful time of the year when they're releasing new content each week to see what the new class challenges will be and the new bosses. But that's probably pretty much it that I've been playing lately.
And how have you found the new class challenges to be, or the new content?
So I'm really enjoying the content. Blizzard has a good sense of humor. They understand their IP and their audience, and they're doing some clever things with it. Where, for instance, last week one of the class challenges was the hunter playing with the new web spinner card.
Right.
Which that's a 1/1 little spider, but when it dies, it puts a random beast in your hand, and that could be any beast from like the entire Hearthstone world, including the beast. So it's not meant to really be challenging, I don't think, but it's fun, and it's kind of a good reminder of I've complained a bit that the new content is maybe not super hard, except for the heroic mode, of course, but it's a good reminder that, yeah, you don't necessarily have to have something be challenging to just sort of smile at it and enjoy it, and it's all good.
Right.
I haven't had a chance to check out this week yet, though.
Oh, you haven't checked out? Yeah, this one's pretty fun. I found the normal level to be pretty easy, but the class challenges are pretty fun, pretty wacky. I don't know these classes as well. I think it's Shaman and Warlock this week, and so it's been a little trickier for me in that respect, but it's definitely been fun. Some quirky stuff going on.
Cool. And Shaman's my worst class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof, gosh, I am not doing very well, you guys. Yeah, have you had a chance? I have a theory actually about the difficulty level of the Hearthstone uh, kind of Naxxramas content. So,
Uh-huh.
so have you been able to walk through the heroic levels, or just mainly the kind of the normal
I
difficulty?
have not very good cards. For as much as I play, I don't have quite the same type of decks as my friends. But yeah, I've gotten through the normal very easily. I mean, some of them just one-shotting with the Warlock Zoo deck, but
Right.
the heroics I have not had much luck on. So
So I think that the reason maybe that the kind of normal levels are so easy is that that's how you unlock the card. So I could see people
mm,
being a little annoyed if they paid, $7 or $20 or whatever, and then can't actually unlock the content that they've paid for, more or less.
sure.
If you're coming in for the cards, not for the single player challenges. So I could see, because I agree, like for the first week I kind of maybe I was wishful thinking or just getting used to kind of the style, but I really did feel like things were pretty easy. But yeah, it's felt like maybe that's the purpose, is get you through the normal levels. If you really want a big challenge, head to heroic, but you can get through the normal levels and get the cards that you've more or less paid for, however you want to consider it,
Mhm.
and then kind of play
Yeah.
around with the other things.
No,
Ooh,
I
so
think that's really insightful. That's probably. Oh,
it just
fumble.
occurred to me today. Okay, I'm gonna try to run away. Am I
Uh,
able to pass it? I'm gonna pass it. Come on,
okay.
baby, catch it, catch it. No, that was
That's a
really
pretty
bad.
easy touchdown. Wow, dude.
Ooh, all right.
That guy cannot throw.
Guys, this no, he cannot. And he only has one title. His title is thrower. I mean, if I was like Brad the
Oh.
thrower, I would expect to be decent at it.
Hmm.
Okay, this is not looking great for me.
So you're going to have to walk through, you're going to have to dodge at least once to get to that
At
ball.
least once, yeah. Yikes. But I do have them
But yeah,
pretty. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
that's a very good point about the Hearthstone content. Since I guess I was forgetting, it is the method by which they're distributing new cards. People are paying for the content. So, um,
They kind of just have to let you have them, and then. All
yeah,
right, so that was halftime. So my glorious breakaway just ended.
no, no. At least you kept it tied, though.
That's right, 0-0. Okay. So for the kickoff, wait, am I doing this incorrectly? Oh, I got to organize. Sorry. Strong line. Let's do that. Accept.
So I did. I actually take it back. I did have one night where I was able to hit up some indie games that I've had on the queue, but haven't had the time to play.
Okay.
One of them was these aren't board games specifically, but still, I guess, indie games.
Yeah.
um, Proteus, which I don't know if that's a really famous one or not.
Is that the
Um,
kind of procedurally generated world? Kind of has like a cartoony, painterly quality
Yeah,
to it?
that's the one. So it's this
Okay.
procedurally generated island. You start off in the ocean and you walk toward this island, which I don't know has won awards for its graphics, but honestly looks a little subpar in my opinion. You walk around, you have no idea what's happening, rises and sets, and then every night a new season goes by. So you live through summer, fall, winter, spring. I think it's actually at the end of winter the game ends. Uh, I
Okay.
guess the island is different every time you play, and there's something with the audio that people were praising, like it was a finalist in some IGF category and has won all these awards. But I don't know. I was like actually upset after playing it. Um, as a professional game developer, it's tough when you're working so hard to make something that you think will be fun and creative, and it takes a whole lot of effort, and then you encounter something that enough people have praised it that I'm sure there's just something I'm missing. But if you're a game developer and you want to be frustrated, go and play Proteus.
I feel like that one might have been more leaning towards the art than anything, but I actually have never played it. I meant to, much like yourself, I think, but never did get around to doing it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so I'm trying to hold a line here. One tricky part about this game is it doesn't really pan and zoom to show what the AI is doing, so I'm doing my best to be a good cameraman, but if I miss something, I sincerely apologize, because I don't necessarily know where it's going.
The camera down in the corner, you can get this. Yeah, there are 3 different views, but one of the views I found is pretty good for watching the AI. Yeah, not that one, that's the side one, but then the third one is this, sort of this like midway view.
It's like an auto camera? Okay. All right.
Yeah, and
thanks.
For some reason that it won't let you click anything in that mode, which is frustrating. Because sometimes you get the right angle and you're like, okay, finally I can hit the square I want to click, and then it kicks you back. But at least for just viewing.
Nice, pushed him back. Yeah, that's a good idea. I will definitely use that now, and we'll stop my complaining a little bit. So I'm going to run one of my catchers kind of behind their lines, because if I do get a breakaway on the ball, I want to be able to pass it over there pretty quickly. All right. All right, so I'm going to try this. Auto camera. Oh, nice. Okay. I removed my complaint. I just wish it would do it automatically, I guess, is what I wish would happen.
Yeah.
But I guess I could also read the manual. There is a manual for this game. Yeah, I'm trying to think what else I've been playing. Have you played Divinity Original Sin yet? I say
no,
yet because you should if you have not.
I have not
I
yet.
have been... Okay, good. No. I don't know. I could not resist. Every podcast that I love listening to was talking about the game. So I finally, decided to take a look at it, and it's actually pretty fun. And so it's kind of like your traditional kind of turn-based RPG, sort of in the style of something like Baldur's Gate. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. It really has a lot of cool stuff going for it. It's got a huge world. It's got really interesting combat. So the combat's exactly turn-based. I'm terrible at Baldur's Gate. It's one of my least favorite games. But this game has like very nice turn-based combat, that I can understand, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it's like, very much like a turn-based strategy game. Everyone takes turns. Baldur's Gate's kind of like a pause, and then you do actions, and then you pause. This one definitely is more straightforward than that. It's pretty fun. So I've just barely started. I hear there's like at least 90 hours of content in the game. So
wow.
Yeah, we'll be
like
seeing.
Skyrim
We'll see how much
style.
of that yeah, exactly. We'll see how much I actually get through. But yeah. Ooh, nice. Got lucky on that one, I think. Yeah, so it's a pretty cool game. All right, so I'm gonna commit a lot of stuff over here. Hopefully I don't fall into a trap. But yeah, that's a really enjoyable one. It's one I highly recommend. I've only put a few hours into it now, but it seems like there's a lot going on. And I named the characters after my wife and I, which may
may come back.
Be a bad idea. Yeah, I hear they can like fight with each other, and like it's so who knows. Yeah, but I get to choose all the conversation choices, so I'll just make sure they always agree with one another. Andrew in the comments is asking if we've noticed any differences between the Xbox, PC, and tablet platforms. So I've actually never had a chance to play this game on PC. I know, Gray, you haven't either. I've always had a Mac, and so it really wasn't possible. Are we just going to stand here the whole game? Is this what's going to happen? So yeah, I can't really
Really?
speak to that directly. I do feel like, you know, it does. It's a little challenging, I think, on the smaller screen, and a lot of the text, I think, is a bit small for the size of screen. All right, I don't. Is this guy still rooted? Oh, he's still rooted. Okay. Alrighty. I don't
Really
know what's
blocked you
going
off
on.
there.
Yeah, but I've got him blocked too, so we're kind of just standing here. But I'm just gonna try to kill all of his players that I can, and then maybe maybe I'll make a gap. Ooh, looks like there's actually a gap forming, which I need to take care of. Uh, Sorry
So
about that.
we're um, showing, a bit of the gameplay and such here, but from what I understand, a lot of this game has to do with the provisioning of the team, the creation of like your lineup and such. So similar to Hearthstone, the actual play as the cards are being dealt is important, but equally important is the strategy you use to craft your deck. And
Right.
we haven't talked yet about the special abilities that some of these players have. For instance, Golden Hands, I think, allows them whenever they're picking up the ball or catching the ball, and they fail that roll, they get an automatic reroll. If you have the kicker, you get to move around before you actually retrieve the kick. There's all sorts of blitzer and blocker skills that give you extra rolls on saves or +1 to certain actions. So I haven't dug into it too deeply, but if you go on the web and you read about the game, there's a lot of conversation dedicated to the best strategies for kitting out your team.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I've barely touched the surface on that, but you're right. It does seem like there's a lot going on there. And when we were talking about the online system, to play online, you have to actually kind of custom craft your own team before before you can actually go online. So they're definitely, I think, aware of that sort of desire to do that and really have your own custom experience. Um, I think that really comes from the tabletop background of the game,
Mm.
because Warhammer was always about you customize your own army. With Blood Bowl, it was
Mm-hmm.
yeah, your own fantasy football team that keeps dying on you because they're wimpy elves. Um, and I think it's that sort of thing carrying over, really giving you that customization. So if you're an old Blood Bowl player who's watching, I think this app really gives you a lot of the customization you would have on the tabletop. So it's definitely worth checking out. No, why are they winning? um, yeah, I think you're exactly right. That's really cool. That's something to highlight. I can't believe I missed it. Um, all right, where are we in this game? It says we have 3 minutes. My team has suffered a little bit this turn. Not doing so hot. We have to hold them in, though. All right, stand up, everybody. All right, what do you think? Do I have any chance here? Clear these guys out. Oh, not good. Reroll? Okay. Well, I've exposed the ball carrier, but I'm out of actions to tackle him. I don't know. What should I do, Gray? I'm lost. Let's try this. All right. Gray, you still there? All right. I think we lost Gray for a second, which means I can talk about whatever I want. Oop, and we just lost my screen. One moment, please. Sorry about that, guys. Don't know what's going on here. Here we go. We're back up. Yeah, so Graves should be back in a second. So we're just playing Blood Bowl tonight. If you have any questions, be sure to leave them on Board Game Geek or on the YouTube channel. We're happy to answer them. If you are an iOS fan, you should definitely be checking out this game. It's pretty fun. You also should check out the game I've been loving today, which is Rules, which really I think is like the perfect casual game. So as I said on Twitter, if you're not playing that game, you're probably doing it wrong, which is okay. It's okay to do it wrong sometimes. But if you can do it right, that's better. So definitely check that out. All right, let's see. Let's no. All right, I'm gonna end my turn there. So the game's about to end. It's gonna be 0-0. We've lost Gray. Hopefully he'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, if you have any questions for us, be sure to drop them in the comments on YouTube or on Board Game Geek. I have a post up there under the Board Game Geek news module. We're doing this every week. If you're new for the first time, we will hopefully continue them. We may take next week off with Gen Con. We'll all be there. We're getting really excited for that. We will be doing coverage on the floor. We'll have a booth there. We'll be doing coverage all day long, and be sure to say hi if you're around. You can come vote on the Geek Buzz, which allows you to kind of pick what your favorite game of the show was, and you can see how you rank against other people. So make sure to come by and grab that, do that. We'll also have promos on sale there, so be sure to check that out. I'm really excited for Gen Con, if you can't already hear it in my voice. It's going to be a fun time, so make sure you check that out. All right, let's see. Can you get in there? Come on. No. Good. Okay. Took the risk and lost. All right, so they have gotten over my line of scrimmage, over the line of scrimmage. So who knows? Could still be a score in this game. The AI could get by me. All right, just check up on Gray here. Yeah, so like we said, Blood Bowl is sort of a PC port onto iOS. I mentioned in my review, I just feel like sometimes things get a little small when you do that. I also feel like there's some flow things that we've gotten used to on iOS, maybe gotten spoiled by, that we will, that we kind of take for granted that I think that aren't in this version of the game. So I do think that definitely is a good port, but definitely shows, you know it's a PC port, you know that's where it came from. Right, it looks like Gray's having trouble getting back in. Just send him the code again. Yeah, thanks for those of you that tuned in. We'll be back next week, or potentially next week. Definitely look out for. We're gonna try to do nightly roundups of what we've seen at Gen Con, so that'll kind of replace what we're doing here. But we will definitely be talking about the board games we're seeing. Dave and I will be looking at iOS and other digital board games, so be sure to look out for that. Alrighty, let's see. Making some progress here, pushing people back. I don't think I'm going to get to the ball this game, so it looks like we may end at a 0-0 game, but it's like soccer, I guess. It can go that way sometimes. Knocked him down, move in. Tighten up our lines a little bit here. Got a little sloppy recently. So if you're just joining us, we're playing Blood Bowl. You can leave comments. I've lost my co-host, so I am going solo, but I will definitely be happy to answer any of your questions, and we're going to finish out this game of Blood Bowl here, which looks like it may be a 0-0 scoring game, which I guess could mean it's a good game. I don't know. Maybe not. But it's definitely been fun. I definitely, I always enjoyed watching this game as a kid, watching people playing it, and it's nice to actually finally be able to experience it on iPad. That's one of the things I love about iPad, is being able to play games that you otherwise wouldn't have had a chance to play. Not that I'm saying don't buy board games, definitely buy board games, but this is something that, these days would be a little challenging to get to the table, I believe, especially with kind of the friends that I have right now. All right, so they're definitely trying to break out. Moving out. Alrighty. AI is making some major progress. Maybe able to make that touchdown and win the game against me, which would be pretty lame. Still trying to get Gray back. Alright, it's not letting him in. Let me see if I can add him in real quick. Sorry for the delay, you guys. The AI is still taking its turn. Oh, I get to choose where I'm getting pushed. Apologies. Oh no, it is choosing. That's what I thought. All right. Hold on. Sorry for the delay, you guys. We're having some technical difficulties this evening. Should just bear with me for 1 second. I'm trying to get Gray back in the game here. All right, Gray, if you're listening, I've sent you an invitation, so hopefully that will let you back in. All right, so they have broken through my lines, definitely moving over to the side. I am pretty concerned about this. Need to, and that was not what I wanted to see. All right, this may be a score for the Orc team. End of match, 0-0, pretty exciting. It's GG. Great game. Good game. Yeah, so that is Blood Bowl. There are several races to pick from. You get the humans and the orcs for free, kind of like classic Warhammer, I guess. Kind of your basic starter set, at least when I played the game. You can purchase others. Yeah, so let's take a look at that real quick. Let's see. So you can kind of see some stats from the game, how your players did. So yeah, if you want to hop on the store, you can actually buy 4 different teams. I bought the Wood Elves and the Dwarves. Skaven just kind of creeped me out, but they're pretty cool too, and Chaos is also available. So that's definitely something worth checking out if you're interested in any of those armies. And again, you can pick and choose the ones that you want. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, so this is Blood Bowl. Let's see. So we've got a few more minutes left. Let's see if Gray can jump back in with us here. If you have any questions for us, definitely be sure to let me know. Anything you'd like to see us stream in the future. Again, we're focused on kind of digital board game ports is mostly what we're going to be doing. Hopefully it'll be on Twitch soon. We're hoping to do that. So definitely be sure to let us know things you'd like to see, things you'd like to have us do. Twitch should give us higher quality and things like that, which we're really looking forward to. So, yeah. All right. So let's see here. Just trying one more time. Gray. If not, I'll let you guys go. Thanks so much for watching. Again, next week we're going to be kind of on a different schedule. We'll be at Gen Con, so it's going to be a little trickier. But we will have a nightly roundup of what we've seen at Gen Con, hopefully, in some form or another. Either might do it on Twitch, or I will record it on a camera and post it sometime during the evening before I collapse in a pile of tired person. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing that. Yeah, maybe we have a few minutes here before we hit 10 o'clock. I will show you guys my current obsession, which I'm pretty sure I downloaded before we started. Oh, maybe I did not. Let me do that real quick. I forgot there's not yet an iPhone version of it. All right, this is going to look a little pixelated. This is Rules from the Coding Monkeys. I definitely think you should check it out. So the Coding Monkeys made Carcassonne, if you're not familiar, or that other one that I'm forgetting, Lost Cities. Those are two excellent board game ports. They've now done a game that isn't strictly a board game port. It's actually very much like a casual sort of puzzle game. I definitely think you should check it out if you haven't. So we're going to look at it real quick now to wrap up. And I think we might not be able to get Gray back on tonight. Gray, thanks so much for coming. I've sent some more invites. If you can hop back on, that'd be great. But otherwise, I'm going to show you how rules work. So the way the game works is you have a rule. So here it says tap greens, so you do that. Or tap unicorns. This one, descending order, so you have to do that in the numerical order. So here we go. It's going to take a lot of concentration. Probably won't be talking very much. Okay, so it's kind of a memorization game, so you need to remember the order of the rules. So tap numbers in descending order. Okay, that makes sense. So you got a 9, you got 8, 6, 6, 5, 5, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So you want to do it as quickly as possible because your time actually carries over from level to level. So you'll get a higher score if you can continue to do things in a speedy manner. All right, so now it's adding a second rule, which is tap green. So you have to do the highest number rule first, and then you have to follow the next rule. So here, greens, and now we have to follow rule 1. So 10s, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 4, 4, 1. Just like that. This is a lot easier on iPad, actually, I have to let you know, because you can use 2 fingers, which is pretty sweet. So now you have to do odds, then greens. So 1, 5, 3, 7, 3, 7, 7, 9, 9, and now greens, and now in order. So if you get it wrong, you lose some points. If you get them all correct and do it under 5 seconds, you get a lot of bonus points. So this is the game I definitely recommend checking out. All right, so nines, and then odds. I'm forgetting the rules already. And then greens, and then 10, 8, 6. All right, I made a couple mistakes that time. All right, next level. So yeah, I'm going to play 1 round of rules, and then we'll be done, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with a new game. Hopefully it's Star Realms. We've been saying that for like a month, but I feel good about in 2 weeks we will be playing Star Realms on our iPads. So animals, just so you know, unicorns are animals. That is, what's rule 3? I forget. I don't remember. Oh, odds. Crap. What is it now? Oh my gosh, that was pretty terrible on my part. This is hard to do while talking. Okay, so now we are on level 6. Tap the whales. I have no idea what the rules are. Monsters, animals, and then nines, and then odds, and then in order. Ooh, I missed it. All right, so when you finish, you get to see your score. You can compare against others. I really love looking at the leaderboards. You can compare with your friends, see how you're doing, see how you rank worldwide. It's pretty cool. So I definitely recommend checking out Rules, checking out Blood Bowl. Thanks everyone for coming. Thanks so much for Gray. I'm sorry that we had that technical difficulty. We'll definitely figure that out in the future. Thanks so much for watching. And again, leave comments. Let us know what you want to see, and we will be sure to try to make it happen. So thank you guys so much, and have a great evening.